We on, Deke.
We on, Deke.
We back, Deke.
We on, Deke.
That's right.
Shalom, everybody. How's it go? Already? I ain't even mad yet. I just got here.
Bring it out. Let's go.
We ain't back yet. Well, all praises, most high, all praises.
All right, turn that. Okay.
Well,
speech.
How's it go? Speech. Well, first off, we're going to say you are now tuned into
Our Hidden History radio show.
Yeah, baby. Man. Back. Yeah, man. It was good to be back. All praise to the Most High. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'd rather just jump into it. I'm all praise for those who send up prayers, those of y'all who are supportive. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. Let's just jump into it. We're going to jump into it. All praise to the Most High.
Hey, hold on, Deacon. Hold on. Deacon.
What's up?
The brother. Oh, man, y'all going crazy sound bites today. The brother, whoever that was in the comments, that was, where is Deacon Ithon? Where is Deacon Ithon?
Very demanding.
Look, he's here. He's back, man.
Yeah,
he's
man.
back.
Yeah, man.
Somebody says,
long awaited.
Somebody says, welcome back, Deacon Ithon. Where's my coffee? She go get the coffee.
The coffee, oh, man.
Hey, somebody said the sound is low.
Sound is low?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Salt and pepper back there.
Huh?
Salt and pepper.
Day and night.
Wow. Man. It begins. All right, so this year, from what I've been seeing, is Islam is pretty much, like, I'm seeing a lot of our people starting to subscribe to it now. And also, well, I'm not going to touch it yet, but that's maybe later on we'll touch on that, but regarding the Trinity, things like that. But I want to focus on Islam, the Gaza-Israel thing going on, the conflict. So I want to kind of just focus on Islam for now. As you know, the Israelis, the Edomites that inhabit the land of Israel today, who profess to be Jews that are not, according to Revelation 2:9, 3:9. They bombed the children of Ishmael, who go under the pseudonym Palestinians. They're not Palestinians. They're not at all. They're Ishmaelites. The Palestinians were Hamites, Philistines that resided there originally. And then during the Islamic conquest, the Arabs took over pretty much the whole top half of Africa from the northeast region all the way to the northwest through murder and bloodshed. The very same bloodshed that they're crying about from the Israelis is the exact same bloodshed that came from them against us in Africa. So I don't really have much of a concern for either side. I don't really care for either side, if I'm being honest. I pray that the Ishmaelites join forces and go against the Israelis, and they get their lick back in. It is what it is. But in terms of picking sides, I choose neither side. Neither one. Neither one of y'all belong to the land anyway. Both of y'all are renters. You're imposters. Both of you are imposters. And I don't root for two villains. So we're going to go into Genesis 16, verse 1, to get into the origin of Ishmael out the Bible, because without the Bible, they would not know who they are. And their Quran simply cites from the Bible, which means to recite. Muhammad pretty much learned from the Jews regarding the history of their people. If it were not for the Jews, they would not know who Ishmael was or anything. They had distorted views on their own ancestry prior to their conversation with us, Muhammad's conversation with us. So Genesis 16, verse 1. So back to my point. And also, just to be very clear, anyone who tries to pull the anti-Semitic card, understand that both Ishmael, the Arabs today in Palestine, Palestinians, so-called Palestinians, and the Israelis, they're also Semites as well. One race of people cannot monopolize a word. And we who are sitting right here are also Semites. And whenever you ask these two particular parties, Israelis or Ishmaelites, who was our forefather, they come with the same Christian response. So we're all children of God, or we're all children of Abraham. They never ever give distinct answers to distinct and concise questions, because these nations all got together and conspired to make certain that our identity is lost. Because once you find out who we are, they gotta move. They gotta move out that land, and they are going to be out that land.
You gotta vacate.
You gotta vacate. And the Lord returned, you're gonna vacate. Genesis 16, verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
Right, because Abram at this time, who became Abraham, and Sarai, who becomes Sarah later on, they were both pretty old, and they could not have children. Well, she could not bear him children. Go ahead.
And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
So once Hagar was given to Abram to bring forth a child, when she realized that she could bring forth children and Sarai could not, she grew to become very disrespectful. Go ahead, to Sarai, go ahead.
And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee.
Go ahead.
But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is thy hand.
Hey, that's your slave. Don't involve me in that beef between you and that woman. That's your slave. Go ahead.
Do to her as it pleaseth thee.
Do what you gotta do. Go ahead.
And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face.
Yeah, Sarai ain't playing with her. So get up out of here. Kicked her out the house. Go ahead. I'm cutting in. I go too loud. Maybe lower the volume on my side. Go ahead.
And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of shore to shore. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hand.
Stay in your place. She's the master. She's the mistress. You're the servant. Don't get cocky and arrogant. Go ahead.
And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord have heard thy affliction.
Because Ishmael means affliction heard. So right now, Ishmael is being afflicted. And the Most High is going to hear it, and he's going to allow him to rally up and go against those Israelis. It's only a matter of time. You know, when it will happen, we don't know, but we do know that eventually Israel, the Ishmaelites who pretty much surround Israel, because they pretty much have all of the top of North Africa, they have most of the Near East, they can rally up together and go against Israel if they wanted to, but they have, the Most High has mustered the spirit in them to do so, but they will eventually. All right, as you see in the map right here, it says Arab countries versus Israel, Muslim versus Jewish. All that green is them. You see from Somalia all the way across Djibouti, Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, they took all of that, and that was us. A lot of Israel was, Ham too, but a lot of Israel were in these lands, and they overthrew us in these lands. And some of us converted to Islam willfully. A lot of us chose death and slavery because we were not having it. So a lot of what's been done to the people over there in Palestine, the Ishmaelites, those same people did the same thing to us in those lands you see marked as green.
Right.
So that's why I said before, and I stand 10 toes down on it. I feel no pity for either side because both were instrumental in the destruction of our people, in removing us out of our land, taking our land from us. All right? So now, let's go back. Where we at? Verse you in?
Verse 12 now.
We right?
And he will be a wild man.
And so Ishmael will be a wild man. Because you have a variety of different groups of people in the Near East who are referred to as Arabs. It's not just Ishmael. All Arabs are not Ishmaelites, not all of them, but the wild one, the ones that you know of who are known to strap bombs to their chest and do terrorist attacks or whatever.
With no thought.
With no thought for life. There's 70 virgins nonsense they believe. Those are the wild ones. You got other ones. You have other groups as well. Go ahead. Read on.
And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man.
Go ahead.
And every man's hand against him.
He'll be fighting. Go ahead.
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Because after Sarai died, Abraham went into a woman named Keturah. Well, we might get to that next. Keturah. and they had children, and those children fell under the category also as Arabs. Okay, go ahead.
And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God,
That's
see.
all I want. Give me
Yes,
chapter 17, verse 1. Jump down, 17, verse 1.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 17 and verse 1.
So right now, this particular session of is going into. I'm focusing on Ishmael. My main focus is Ishmael and the doctrine of Islam that came from them. And eventually we're gonna go into Esau, and we're gonna tie in Moab. We're gonna tie them all in together, because all these nations were instrumental in destroying us, and they all work together. Read on.
Genesis chapter 17 and verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Abraham means father of many nations. Go ahead.
Verse 6, And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
Talk about us. Talk about Israel. Go ahead.
And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man-child in your generations. He that is born in a house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man-child, whose flesh is his foreskin, of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant.
Come on.
And God said unto Abraham, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. But Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
Right, which will be comes to Israel. Go ahead. That falls on Israel. Go ahead.
Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful. I will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation.
So Ishmael had 12 sons like Jacob had 12 sons. Go ahead.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
So what Ishmael tends to do with Islam is they say that Ishmael, the covenant was with him. They lie. Their replacement theology goes with them also. Christianity of the white man pushes the replacement theology, and Islam pushes the same doctrine, replacement theology, where it's not Isaac, it's Ishmael. And then in Christianity, it's not Jacob or Israel, it's everybody. It's replacement theology. The same nation, same nation, Esau and Ishmael, doing the same thing, replacing God's people, moving them out the way and saying, we're entitled to God's salvation too. We're part of the covenant too. Doing the same exact thing. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And he left off talking with him. And God went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day as God had said unto him.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
Mm-hmm.
And Ishmael, his son, was 30 years old.
13.
Was 13 years old.
Ishmael was 13 years old. Go ahead.
When he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
He was 13. Go ahead.
And the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son.
They were circumcised the same day. Abraham was how was it say he was? 99, and Ishmael was 13. Go ahead.
And all the men of his house, born in the house, and bought with money of the stranger, were circumcised with him.
18, chapter 18.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 1. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door of the heat in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. And comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do, as thou hast said.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it.
Mm-hmm.
And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did.
You know, the Israelis today, those so-called, say it's a sin to eat dairy and meat at the same time. Yet Abraham fed angels dairy and meat. You just can't make this up, man. You can't make it up. Y'all are just stupid devils. It don't make sense to me. Read on. Continue.
Verse 9. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women.
I remember earlier in the chapter prior to this, Abraham laughed to himself and said, I'm gonna have a son. He laughed to himself. Watch this, read.
Verse 12. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself.
She did what Abraham did. Go ahead.
Saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also?
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Abram, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child which am old?
So the Lord said, what's she laughing about over here? Go ahead. And it says she laughed within herself, but the Lord heard her laugh within herself. Like, what's she laughing about? What's she laughing in her head for? Which is crazy. What's she laughing in her head for? He said, go ahead.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
You trying to say I can't get you, I can't have you, cause you to get pregnant by your husband? Because you old? Go ahead.
At the time appointed I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
Go ahead.
Then Sarah denied.
No, I wasn't laughing in my head. Go ahead.
Saying, I laughed not, for I was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh.
Nah, you laughed. Don't lie. I heard you. Go ahead.
And the men
But that just shows you the position of how God deals with men and women.
Right.
Abraham could laugh like that, but he found her to be disrespectful doing it. He said, don't do that. Don't laugh. Don't do that. Go ahead.
And the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom. And Abraham went with them to bring them on the way.
You stop at 19. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, and the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of.
Meaning
him.
Abraham had his house in order. That's what he means. Abraham had his house in order. Now, get 21 verse 8. 21 verse 1. Chapter 21. We're going to do a lot of reading because we got to get through the history of Ishmael's conception, things like that. I'm just laying out the groundwork for now. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 21 and verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God hath spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him.
A year later, 100 years old. Go ahead.
And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham, that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son. For the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
So Ishmael started mocking Isaac and says, yo, get this chick out of here, man. Take her and her son and get them out of here. Go ahead.
And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son.
So Abraham was grieved by this because Abraham loved Ishmael. That was his boy. He's like, oh, man, I got to get rid of my son now? Go ahead.
And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight. Let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman. And all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice. For in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Once again, letting it be known that Isaac was the chosen child. Ishmael was not the chosen child. Isaac was. Get rid of Ishmael and his mama. They got to go. Go ahead.
And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation.
But I will look out for Ishmael. The Lord said, I'll look out for him. But they got to go. Go ahead.
Because he is thy seed.
Because he's your child, Abraham. I'll look out for him. Go ahead.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, put it in her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said, let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice, and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, what aileth thee?
What aileth
thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad drink. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness.
Watch this.
And became an archer.
Keep that in mind. So he dwelt in the wilderness. He grew, got older, he became an archer. He became an archer. Keep this in mind. Go ahead.
And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran. And his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt.
And got him an Egyptian woman just like she was. So, let's get, what do I want? Give me the physical geography. Give me that book real quick. The physical geography, I want page 297. Physical, treatise here. Let's get that real quick. Yep, the book, here is that.
A treatise.
1850. Very old. It's white eyes only. 1850. This is when Negroes are still in chains. All right, we're not allowed. We got emancipated. Huh?
No, I said it was a law not to
It was a law. We couldn't read nothing. So this book was published when we were not allowed to read. 1850. We were given emancipation around 1863. So this is 13 years prior to our freedom. So we were in chains when this book was put together. It was published in 1850, but it was put together earlier than that. All right. So now let's go into it. Page 297. Let's see what the white man was writing about us in his books we weren't allowed to read, shall we? And also books that were written in the 1960s, early like 1950s. Those you had white libraries and black ones. So they were still white eyes only. Even when we got our freedom, quote unquote, you still had white libraries where white folks had their books written about us, and we had black libraries that didn't have these books in there.
All the way up to the 1900s.
All the way up until 1900s, right? Read that now.
Thus, the Jews are a people who have ever...
Oh, late 1900s, yes. Go ahead.
Thus, the Jews are a people who have ever, according to the prophecy, dwelt alone, without intermixing...
No, does it say the Jews are a religion?
No. Said, thus the Jews are a people...
Oh, okay. That means they're a race. Let's just put that out there for you Israelis who are watching. They are a race of people, not a religion. Then Trump go, oh, no, they're a race now. They're a race now. A race. Because I say so.
You must acknowledge them as so.
Acknowledge them as a race now because I said so. No, they're a race. They were always a race. Read that, please.
Thus, the Jews are a people who have ever, according to the prophecy, dwelt alone, without intermixing with the nations.
Initially, yes. Go ahead.
To this day. Now, this separate race...
What?
This separate race...
Race. Separate race. Go ahead.
All descended from brown ancestors.
All descended from brown ancestors. Brown ancestors. Watch this. We're going to name them. Go ahead.
For Abraham.
Brown ancestor.
Isaac.
Brown ancestor.
And Jacob.
Brown ancestor. Go ahead.
Must have been as dark as Mar Yohanan, if not darker.
Darker. They were very, very dark. Go ahead.
Exhibit every shade of color from the black Jews of Malabar.
Why? Because the black Jews of Malabar's forefathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were black people. They're saying in this page that the Jews are black people. So the people they had in chains in slavery, they're writing about their black ancestry in their books. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is their father. That's what they're saying in this book here. 1850. Go ahead.
Of whom we have such an interesting account by Dr. Claudius Buchanan. To the rose and lily complexion of the Jewess on the banks of the Elbe.
White folks, go ahead.
We need go no further than the Jews of southern Spain.
Southern Spain, go ahead.
And compare them with those of Holland and northern Germany.
So we're going to compare the Jews of southern Spain with those of Holland and Germany. That's you converts, you guys that converted. Don't get mad at me, get mad at the Syrian president. Assad, he went on national TV and made it clear you guys are converts. We've been saying this for years. Then the Syrian president goes on the news and makes it very clear that you guys were converts during the 8th century. Khazarians, that's what you guys are. It's not something I made up. It's in your. And by the way, we got your books on the table. By the way,
that's it.
Where you say it. So don't play these games with us. Read that.
To perceive a very striking difference.
There's a very striking difference between the Jews of Spain and the ones that came out of Holland and Germany. Go ahead.
The Spanish Jew is always dark complexion.
The Spanish Jew is always dark complexioned. Go ahead.
And his hair is uniformly black.
His hair is uniformly black. I ain't been in the book with me. It's a book written by a guy named Maurice Fishberg. And he says that the Spanish Jews maintain the ancient features of the Israelites from back then.
Damn.
In that book, he says that the Jews of Spain, they maintain the original ancient features of the Jews in the Bible. Read it again. Spanish Jew is what?
The Spanish Jew is always dark complexion.
Because they always were dark complexion based upon the earlier paragraph. They come from a brown ancestors. Go ahead.
And his hair is uniformly black, whilst the German Jew is often as fair as German.
Because they are German. They are Germans. Go ahead.
And has light or red hair with blue eyes.
Red hair and blue eyes because they're Caucasians. They're not the same people as the Jews originally were. Go ahead.
The various shades of color observable among the Negro.
Among the what?
The Negro.
Now he goes from calling them black complexion Spanish Jews to the what?
The various shades of color observable among the Negro.
Negro. Go ahead.
Or African race.
Or Negro race. Same thing, because that's where they found us.
tends to the same conclusion. Along the coast of Guinea,
Along the coast of Guinea, go ahead.
which is low, marshy, and hot.
And Guinea's the Portuguese word for black. They named the area black. They found black folks there, called it Guinea. Then they found them same people in Guinea, in the Pacific Islands, and called it New Guinea. Because the same people in Africa, Guinea, are the same people over there in New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, over there in the islands. Israelites over there also. Go ahead.
We find jet black complexions.
We find what?
Jet black complexions.
Go ahead.
And this is the very country from which American Negroes have been derived.
And those same Jews he read about that was in Spain fled into Guinea, and they enslaved them over there. Can I prove it? Of course I can. Of course we can. Of course we can prove it.
Hey, Deke.
Yes.
Let's
sir.
not forget that those fake Jews in Holland were the ones that set up the Dutch East India Company and owned the slave ships that went all around the world and enslaved us, too.
Yep.
So those fake Jews enslaved the real dark black Jews all across the globe.
Yep. That's a fact. Give me the Black Jews book written by...
Hey, and bring that book back up real quick. Let's not forget the first underlined part that I read about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, he said that was our brown ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still making that comparison all the way down to the Negroes here in America. That look, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that was our brown ancestors as well.
Yep.
All right.
Hold on. What do I want? Is it 232?
So they let you know. Listen, we are the Israelites. All right. They put it in their books. They pass it back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? So they make these books for each other. They give it to Bishop Yals always bring this out. They give these books to each other for on Christmas, and they write it.
Yep.
This is to
This
Biff.
goes to Biff.
Biff.
Biff and Amber. This is for you. This is for you, Ulysses. Mortimer. This book's for you, Mortimer. I got some weird names, man. Anyway, give me Black Jews. I want page 232.
Mortimer.
Mortimer's book's for you, Mortimer.
Make sure you read all of it.
Don't let your nigga read it. Don't let him read it. Page 232. Let me see. No. Give me 231.
Oh, that's where you get Ulysses from up here. It says Ulysses.
Yeah,
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria. The author of this book is Ulysses Santa Maria. This book is around 1930, I believe.
Okay.
On Cambridge University Press. I did not write this.
Cambridge.
This is Cambridge University Press. All right, page 231. I want that first. Page 231. You got it? Yes, sir. We're gonna start at where they're black slaves. Let's go there. Read all the way down. Try to do a little faster.
Were there black slaves who were Jewish through religion, who maintained the faith of their ancestors after they had been forcibly transported to America?
So were there black slaves who observed Judaism? Or were their ancestors after they had been forcibly brought to America, slaves? Watch this.
Only through an analysis of the mythology of the Jewish African origins of the black Hebrews will this become clear.
Watch this.
The following are the major sources that need to be considered in such an analysis.
There are three sources of evidence that we can take into consideration to prove that the Negroes who were brought here in America in shits, that new doctrine,
That's
we were
right.
always here.
Right.
We're mystical niggers. We were always here in America. We came through a magic nigger portal, and we were always here. No, you was on a ship. You ashamed of your, you're ashamed of yourselves. You're ashamed of slavery. We're not. We were not always here. We came over here eventually in Second Esdras. We came over here, and then later on after that, different shades of time, different points in time, we came here. But to say we were always here is laughable. Slave ships were around. They existed. Please stop playing the games. Don't make us bring out the books of people who were on the ships.
Right.
Don't make us do it. Don't just stop that mystical Negro stuff you're trying to come with. You're ashamed of the slave ships. You're ashamed of your heritage. Just keep that stupid stuff to yourself because you're going to get yourselves embarrassed with that stupid nonsense about slave ships. Where are the slave ships now? Where can you find them? Let me explain something to you real quick before I go here. Before they started shipping Negroes, they were shipping other things like gold. They were called cargo ships. Mm-hmm. Shipping gold, minerals. Then when they start to take us, they put us on those same ships. Once slavery was abolished, what they do? They begin to ship what? What they initially started shipping before. Cargo, other
Same
things.
Right.
They reverted back to what they were. Then as time went on and time progressed, technology increased and the ships were changed. Now the same cargo ships you see carrying them big crates that sail across the sea now, them big containers, that's the cargo ship. That same ship was, the old version of that ship was used to transport us. There's no evidence that there's boats big enough to carry 200 people on the boat. Y'all gotta stop this. These doctrines are really make you want to curse. They're really, really stupid doctrines. Yeah, officer, you want to say something?
But Deacon, we show a picture. The bishop shows the picture from 1860 of us being on a actual slave ship, a real picture.
I don't know, man.
It's not a drawing. I know they go back to in the books. There's drawings. They're just drawings of ships. That's not to say that we've been on those ships. No, we have an actual picture of us on a slave ship from 1860. There was right here. There was cameras back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is an actual slave ship right here. Look at this. This is a slave ship.
Yeah. And get this. I'm gonna help you out some. When we get to the Trans-Saharan, this is going to evolve into the Trans-Saharan slave trade. Right. The Arabs were shipping Negroes across the Pacific Ocean, in hundreds to 200s on a ship. They're called dhows. Slave ships are called dhows, DHOWS. So if the Arabs had the capacity, the technology to have ships to ship over us by the hundreds across the Pacific Ocean, why would white folks lack the ability to do it in the Atlantic Ocean? Are y'all retarded? Anyway, where we at? Get the
They
book.
say, oh, this is the wind currents. The wind currents. There's no way that ships came from Africa over to America because of the wind currents. They all.
We went over that years ago. The wind currents. If there's ever a shipwreck, whenever ships get lost from Africa, they end up automatically on the side of the world. The winds flow westward.
We did bring
no matter how much it swirls around, it's going to swirl your stupid ass to the west where America is. The winds flow to the west. They flow to the west. They have found ships that are pretty much docked in South America because they got lost from West Africa and they drifted over to this side. Right. The winds flow westward.
Well, they call it the Canary Current.
I believe they call it the Canary Current.
It goes to the Caribbean, and then from Caribbean it goes down to South America into West Africa.
There you go.
There's some maps on that.
If you find it, we'll get that in the meantime. Just remind me. Read that. So the following the major sources that need to be considered regarding Negroes who may have been Jews brought to America. Exhibit A.
Witnesses, tales of the explorers who mentioned the existence of communities of black Jews on the African continent, and particularly in the areas where the slave ships picked up the black slaves.
Whoa. Read A again. The witnesses what?
Witnesses tell of the explorers who mentioned the existence of communities of black Jews on the African continent, and particularly in the areas where the slave ships picked up black slaves.
So the places where black Jews resided, that is where the slave ships were docked to take us to the Americas. Read on.
B. Rites and customs which have more or less explicit analogies with those of Judaism.
The customs is Judaism. Go ahead.
C. The semantics and the dialectology,
the language
of some African societies reveal some features comparable with those of Judaism.
Go ahead.
D. The deductions and conclusions of anthropological and
anthropological is the people. Go ahead.
And sociological,
how they do each other.
Work done in Africa.
Go ahead.
It is well known that 1,500 years before Islam.
Stop right there. 1,500 years before Islam. Go ahead. 1,500 years, almost 2,000 years before. Go ahead.
Judaism was present in Africa.
We were keeping the laws of God. Out the Bible, Judaism was present. Then Islam came and began to destroy us. Read on.
Travelers' tales and the stories of journeys across North Africa, the Sahara, and the Sudan provide considerable evidence of the existence of Jewish communities on the African continent.
Go ahead.
We know that from the time of St. Jerome, 340 to 420, A chain of Jewish commercial towns stretched almost uninterrupted from Mauritania
Mauritania is Northwest Africa.
to India.
Remember that map earlier about the Arabs. Go back to that again, to the Arabs again. That map you showed earlier with Israel and it says that the communities we had stretched from Mauritania to India. Mauritania is green. Who has it now? Arabs. Muslims have it now. How'd they get it? They killed us and enslaved us there and took it over. Where is it from all the way to India? It's over to the other side. So let's go back. Let's go back. Back to the page. Go ahead.
St. Augustine learnt Hebrew in Tazim.
And Tazim, go ahead.
Tazim, where there was a Judeo-Syrian colony which came from Cyrenaica.
Which is a Greek settlement in Libya. Go ahead.
Of
Israelites. Go ahead. That's in Acts 2. Go ahead.
These groups went as far as Akkar in the southern Sahara. And according to the chronicles of the Sudan.
Of the where?
Of the Sudan.
Sudan. Go ahead.
The dynasty of the kings of Ghana.
The dynasty. That means kings. The dynasty of the what?
Kings of Ghana.
Watch this.
Originated in this group.
So the groups that went as far as Akkar in southern Sahara, and according to the Chronicles of Sudan, the dynasty of kings of Ghana came from that same group. Jews. Go ahead.
Jewish contacts and influences with Black Africa were also noted by the Arab geographers Ibn Khordadbeh and El-Bekri.
El-Bekri, go ahead.
Who stated that the roots of the Trans-Saharan trade.
The routes of the Trans-Saharan trade, which eventually turned into the Trans-Saharan slave trade. Go ahead. These are Arab geographers here. Go ahead.
In which Jewish caravans and interpreters were involved.
Because Jews are there. Go ahead.
Culminated in Ghana.
So you had Jewish caravans in Ghana. Go ahead.
And in the lower valley of the Senegal River.
West Africa. Go ahead.
In the 12th century, El-Idrisi.
El-Idrisi, that's our people, I believe. He's our people, El-Idrisi. Go ahead.
And the Andalusian geographer.
He was the Spanish geographer. El-Idrisi was our people. He was a geographer from Spain. Go ahead.
Also cited the Hebrew colony of Lamlam.
Of where?
Lamlam.
Lamlam. The Jew, you got that map here? Of Lamlam?
Yes, put it up, please.
Gabi. Gabi. It says the Jewish Hebrew colony of Lamlam. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Move it over. You should see Lamlam up to the top left.
Yep, right here. Put your cursor on that.
Cursor on it. Yep. Lamlam, once a Jewish colony. Why does it say once a Jewish colony? What happened to the people that were there? It says there was once a Jewish colony. This is around Mauritania, I believe. You have Senegambia over here to the left.
Mm-hmm. That's the Sudan.
Yeah, it's the Sudan. So what happened to this Lamlam? We're going to find out what happened to them later on in the session. If not this part, next time. We're going to find out what happened to them. Wait, go back again. Go back to the map again. Go back to the map again. Sorry, go back to it again. I missed something. Right there it says Jewish Kingdom of Granada. You read that earlier about the Jewish dynasty of kings? Same thing. Go back. It all mixed together. It all goes together. Read on.
The Andalusian geographer also cited the Hebrew colony of Lamlam, located 200 miles from Timbuktu.
Jews were in Timbuktu. Go ahead.
And the existence of 2 Jewish towns on the Niger.
Go ahead, Niger River. Go ahead.
Then 1 century later, Haji and Agawati added this. There is a race of people in Tugart called Majaharia, who are converted Jews.
Go ahead.
Their women speak Hebrew in order, not to be understood. From this period onward, there was a very significant Jewish influence throughout North Africa.
There was a very significant Jewish influence as we were living there throughout North Africa. Go ahead.
To such an extent that the Dominican missionaries
the white man started to go up in there and try to convert us out of that into Christianity, the Catholic Church. Dominican missionaries, the same ones that came into the Americas and indoctrinated the Native Americans into becoming Dominicans, the same ones that was in Africa doing the exact same thing. But they had to learn what to teach us what? Over here, watch.
From this period onwards, there was a very significant Jewish influence throughout North Africa to such an extent that Dominican missionaries had to learn Hebrew and Arabic.
They had to learn Hebrew and Arabic because our people are learning Hebrew and Arabic from the Muslim onslaught. That came in there. Read on.
But what about the south of this margin of Saharan contact? In the reign of Jean II of Portugal.
That's John II. Go ahead.
John II of Portugal. Nearly 700 Jews were taken from their kin and deported to the island of Saint Thomé.
That was in Bishop's class yesterday. Go ahead.
on the west coast of Africa.
Not this.
This island is close to Nigeria, Cameroon, and Gabon.
That was a bishop's class yesterday. Go ahead.
Escaping from San Tome,
They escaped from San Tome. Go ahead.
the Jews immigrated to the coast of Angola
They ran to Angola. Go ahead.
between 1484 and 1499.
They fled from San Tome. They ran from Portugal. They were placed in San Tome to work as slaves. And then some of them escaped from San Tome and ran to Angola. Go ahead.
They must have settled in several Portuguese colonies.
Which will be Angola, Congo. Go ahead.
And over the centuries mixed with the indigenous black population
The Africans that were there. Go ahead.
near the Congo and Gabon.
Near the Congo and Gabon, because Gabon is right under Angola. It's right under. Go ahead.
In 1776, black Jews
What?
called black Jews
Black Jews. When America was founded, black Jews. Go ahead.
called Bavambu, or even Mavambu, or Mayamba, May, or Mavambu.
Stop. Go back to the map.
Gabi.
Got it. Go back to Gabi. Go down to the corner, to the edge. Right there in the bottom, you should see Mavambo Jews. Yup, right there. See it? Blow it up under Gabon. Blow it up. Mavambo Jews. Right? You see, go down to the bottom. You see Luango. Go down. Luanda Jews. Go up to Gabon.
Luango up top, I think.
No, it's not. I don't think Luango's on here. But Gabon, it's the same thing. Because Luango is above Gabon. It's the same thing. Gabon, go back. I'm cross-referencing for y'all so you can see what we're saying is backed up. Read on.
Lived on the coast of Luango by the river named the Rio Muni.
Go ahead.
It was seen that they adopted Christianity at the same time as maintaining their Judaism.
Why did they adopt Christianity? Because the Dominican priests went over there. That's why. And so they were keeping Christianity and Judaism at the same time. They're serving two masters, which God said not to do. Read on.
By 1847, David Livingstone.
Now, David Livingstone wrote a book about the Bantus. He has a book we read all the time about the Bantus. The same guy, David Livingstone. Go ahead.
Discovered a group of educated blacks.
He came across a group of educated blacks while in Africa. Watch this.
Living in the interior, some 200 miles from the coast of Luando.
Now, Luando's on that map you had earlier on Gabi. Go back to it again. It's on the very bottom. Go down. Right there. Luando Jews. See it? Go up, blow it up. Luando Jews, same thing. Now go back, Luando Jews. Go back. Read again.
Says by 1847, David Livingstone discovered a group of educated blacks living in the interior some 200 miles from the coast of Luando.
Right.
These blacks were called the Jews of Angola.
These blacks he ran into, they were referred to as the Jews of Angola. Go ahead.
They were good merchants.
Watch this.
Learned easily and had a knowledge of Portuguese law and history.
Why? Because they escaped from the Inquisition from Spain and Portugal. Go ahead.
They were often employed as clerks and writers. For Livingstone, there was no doubt but that these people were the descendants of those who had been deported from Portugal in the 15th century.
1400s. Go ahead.
Other evidence supports his intuition.
Watch this.
In savage Africa, Winwood Reade writes of having met in Guinea.
Wait. Remember the other book about us, geography treatise about Guinea. Watch this.
Other evidence supports his intuition. In savage Africa, Winwood Reade writes of having met in Guinea blacks claiming to be Portuguese around 1864.
Because those are the same Jews that fled from Portugal in the 15th century in Guinea. Go ahead.
Closer to our time, Dr. J. Cripple noted sometime after the First World War that a large community of black Jews existed in the interior of Dahomey.
Mm-hmm.
These Jews had the 5 books of Moses written on old parchments in Hebrew. All these disparate elements are evidence of the permanent presence of a Jewish tradition within African ethnic groups which had at one time been in contact with the Jews who came from the Mediterranean, were converted, and had kept their faith and their way of life.
No, damage control. No, they were already Jews. Go back. Was there more? Let me see. Let me see.
Leighton Wilson.
Yeah, Leighton Wilson. Let me see if I want this. Go down. Let me see. Go down. Nah, I don't know more. That's it. Go back to scriptures again. Genesis, where are we at? Genesis,
We stopped at 21, verse 20. Chapter 21, verse 21.
23, verse 1.
Yes, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 23 and verse 1. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjath-Araba.
Kirjath-Arba. Go ahead.
The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her.
Verse 3.
And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight.
So Sarah passed on. Hold on. Give me Genesis 25, verse 1. So Sarah passes on. 25, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 1. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah.
Right. Go ahead.
And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua.
So Abraham, through this wife, Keturah, gave birth to the Midianites. Go ahead.
And Jokshan begot Sheba, and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Asherim, and Letushim, and Leumim.
Go ahead.
And the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanak, and Abida, and Eldana. And all these were the sons of Keturah.
So you want to focus on Midian. You want to focus just your eyes on, of all the children here listed, you want to focus your attention on Midian. Go ahead.
And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac.
He gave all he had unto Isaac. Go ahead.
But unto the sons of the concubines,
which would be Hagar and Keturah. Go ahead.
Which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son.
He got rid of them too. Go ahead. Because they all cannot be heirs of Isaac. Go ahead. There's only going to be only one heir. There's only one throne for one butt. And that's Isaac's throne, pretty much. Go ahead.
And sent them away from Isaac his son.
Watch this.
While he yet lived, eastward unto the east country.
So they were sent off to all the children of Abraham's concubines, Hagar and Keturah, were sent off to the east country. That's your Arabia, Saudi Arabia, that area there. They took that over. Go ahead.
And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 160 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man, and full of years, and was gathered to his people.
Verse 9.
And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah.
So they got together and they buried their father. Go ahead.
In the field of Ephron, the son of Zoar, the Hittite, which is before Memory.
Now give me Geographus about Ishmael. Because remember it said Abraham had brown ancestors. We showed that the Jews are black. Now we're going to show Ishmael too. Let me see. Hold on a second. What do I want from here? Hold on. It's page 310. Give me page 310 of the book. Give me the cover first. The cover, you got the cover, Atlas. This is Atlas Geographus, or a commonly system of geography, ancient and modern for Africa, volume 4. What year is that? 1714.
Hey, this book also shows that we were also the ancient worshiping. I mean, we had the laws already in this book
it's in here as well. Yes, it's in here. Give me page 310. Page 310. Let me see. I'm not sure what I even want here, to be honest. Let me see. Go down. It's definitely this page.
Oh, right here, I see it. The Arabs are lean or brown complexion.
Yeah. Yes, that's it right there.
All right.
The Arabs.
The Arabs are. Put your cursor on there, so they. Right there. The Arabs are lean, of a brown complexion, and frightful
aspect.
That's
all. So the Arabs were of a lean or of a brown complexion. Why? Because they share the same ancestor. Abraham was a black man, and Ishmael was also a brown or black man as well. Isaac and Ishmael were black men. Okay, they fathered black races. All right, they were Hebrews. Ishmael was a Hebrew. Isaac was a Hebrew. But out of Isaac came Jacob, and Jacob was the chosen people of God, Israelites. So the original Arabs were dark originally. but then to mix around with the Greeks and so forth, and Edom and them mingled together, and it was a wrap. Get me not a wrap fully, but the ones you see. I've seen black Arabs. They're like a unicorn. You'd be amazed if you see one. I have seen some. And those of you who live outside, those of you who live out there, like in the Arab Emirates or Qatar, you might come across them. But over here in the States, you don't really see them much.
They will duck when they put them way in the back.
Yeah. Give me read verse 10. Genesis 25, verse 10.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 10. The field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth, there was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt in the land and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahathroy. Now these are the generations of Ishmael.
Here we go.
Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nabayoth.
Nabayoth. You want to focus on that name? Nabayoth. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that page you read earlier mentions that name. Go back to that page again. I glanced it. That book, Geographus, again. Go back to it, the right-hand side. Let me see it. Blow it up. I thought I saw that name on this page. Go down. Yep. Mohammedans, Arabian.
No, I see Numidia. That's
probably
what you're looking at.
Go down.
You have it?
I think it's Numidia. Go down. Let me see. Okay, I'm wrong. Forget it. I'm wrong. It's okay. Yes,
sir.
Go out of it. Yeah, read on. So focus on that name, Nabayoth. Focus on that name. Go ahead.
And Kedar.
Focus on that name. Nabayoth is one of his sons, and Kedar, another one of his sons. Go ahead.
And Adbeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, and Jator, Napish, and Kedama. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns, and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations.
Now get me Wikipedia. Koresh. Quraysh. Koresh tribe. Koresh. Quraysh. Quraysh. We're going to, what do I have here? It doesn't matter. We're going to stop at where it says tribe. The reason the top is so it says stop at tribe. That's what I have here.
The Koresh were a grouping of Arab clans that historically inhabited and controlled the city of Mecca and its Kaaba.
Pagan Kaaba, pagan stump, an idol. Go ahead.
The Islamic prophet Muhammad was born into the Hashem clan of the tribe. By 600 Common Era, the tribe were affluent merchants who dominated commerce between the Indian Ocean and East Africa on one side and the Mediterranean on the other. They organized caravans that traveled to Gaza and Damascus in the summer and to Yemen in the winter. On those routes, they were also engaged in mining and other enterprises. They were known for their him, or absence of hot-headedness, because despite their rivalries, they put commercial interests and unity first.
So the Arabs are very organized at this time, unlike now. But they'll return to that again. Go ahead.
When Muhammad spread Islam in Mecca, they were unconcerned and offered no serious opposition until he began to attack their polytheistic beliefs.
They were pagans. Go ahead.
As relations with the Quraysh progressively deteriorated, Muhammad took his followers to Yathrib, Medina, after successful negotiations with Banu Az and the Khazraj to mediate their tribal conflict. This migration event, known as the Hijra.
Now, the place Yathrib was a place where Jews resided first. And when he killed us and conquered us out of Yathrib, he named it Medina. That land belonged to 3 Jewish tribes. He conquered it from us and renamed it Medina. Muhammad pushed that Islam stuff, what he learned from the Jews, and the Arabs and Jews themselves didn't take him seriously. When he started to destroy us, they said, this guy's beating the Jews. We got to take him more seriously now. He started to gain fame and wealth and power through conquest. Read on.
In Medina, Muhammad saw a new obstacle appear as Quraysh banished Muslims from Mecca, consequently banning them from performing the pilgrimage obligation, seizing the property of Muslims of Mecca, leaving them economically devastated, and the impossibility of coming to a peaceful conclusion with Quraysh. He saw the only option was to confront them via armed struggle, first by raiding Meccan caravans. This consequently led to armed conflict between them, some of which included the battles of Badr, Uhud, and the Trench. Sometime after the latter battle and after Muhammad had successfully eliminated the 3 major Jewish tribes from Medina.
See? I didn't know it was even there. He read that part again. Sometime what?
Sometime after the latter battle and after Muhammad had successfully eliminated the 3 major Jewish tribes from Medina.
Which was Yathrib. You had 3 major Jewish tribes that resided there originally. Remember, we were there 1,500 years before this guy came along with this madness. And he conquered 3 of us out of Yathrib and renamed it Medina. Go ahead.
He reportedly stopped attacking Quraysh caravans, at which time he focused more on the north, raiding Banu Laim and Banu Mastalik, to name a few.
Where's the word tribe at? I don't want to read all day. Let's see what's tribe.
Type tribe in on,
so we can know where to stop. No, not there.
Go down. Go down.
Go down. Let me see. Name. Shoot. I didn't write down what it's. I just stop at tribe. Okay, go to. You see, type in Kinana. Kanina. Yeah, Kanana. Yeah, that's it. Kanana. Is there where you can click it? Or no? I can search it. Yeah, just click that, yeah. Okay. We're gonna take a quick break after this. Kanana, read that real quick. Go to history. You go to history, and we're gonna stop at Kanana. Read that real fast.
History, origins, and branches. In the Arab genealogical tradition, the eponymous ancestor of the tribe was Kanana, Ibn Kazam, Ibn Madrika, Ibn Harahas.
Yeah, let's read the tribe.
The tribe traced his ancestry to Ishmael.
Read it again?
The tribe traced his ancestry to Ishmael.
So this Kanana tribe goes back to Quraysh, and they trace their ancestry back to Ishmael. Read on.
Who married a woman of the Yemenite Jurhum tribe and settled in the vicinity of Mecca.
Jurhum tribe, go ahead.
According to Islamic tradition, the Kanana were polytheists, with their worship centering on the goddess of Al-Uzza.
Al-Uzza was a goddess. There are 3 goddesses. Al-Uzza, Al-Manat, and some other goddess. They were like mediator gods for each stone. They still worship them to this day, just covertly. Go ahead.
Islamic tradition holds that the Kanana and the other descendants of Ishmael gradually dispersed throughout northern Arabia.
That's the east.
Losing their original faith and falling into idolatry.
What was their original faith? The faith of Abraham. They left that and went into idolatry. Okay? Let me see. We're going to chill for now, take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Just stay with us. If you have any questions or comments, call us at 267-702-6121. That's 267-702-6121.
Hey,
also, right? And do not text and ask where I've been when I was out. Okay, so just
you went to that dark place.
Yes, yeah. So regarding the topic, all right.
Hey, and also Israel, hit that like button, all right. Hit the like button. Don't be afraid to hit the like button. It's simple. All right.
All right. So we'll be back. Stay with us.
Most High in Christ, bless Israel, Bishop Nathaniel. Some of you call me the general, and I appreciate that. The gospel hasn't been preached everywhere as yet. There's much work to be done. As we know, the 12 tribes of Israel, like James 1:1 said, was scattered throughout all nations. I need some volunteers. I need some of you mighty men to stand up. You deacons, captains, officers, soldiers, stand up. I need volunteers to go on this mission.
With Passover right around the corner, IUIC will now be presenting Passover Boom Cards, the ideal tool used to teach our prophets and princesses the biblical history of Passover. They are also available in English and Spanish, so don't hesitate to grab your very own deck of boom cards at wow.boomlearning.com/author/IUIC.
Hey, Shalom family, Most High Christ bless you. Bishop Kanai, we're here South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. The streets are full of people. We have some listen, some reject them, but guess what? The word of God is going out.
Hey, ask Deacon Malachi what happened.
No, let me show you. What happened, Deacon? No.
You don't want to know.
Judah sent you.
Judah, who you on the phone to? A black brother got mad and tried to attack Deacon Malachi.
Yeah, we're leaving it though. We're leaving it.
Inside this basilica. So we're inside the basilica. Nothing but Edomites around. The only Israelite there besides us is a brother that's deceived by false image of Cedric Boisier. And he has a picture up there of Cedric Boisier. He's on the ground, so we go to take pictures of him. So Deacon Malachi goes up to him and says, "Hey, bro, you know Jesus ain't white, right?"
Get out. Don't say that. You are blaspheming. Jesus is not white, bro. Get away. How dare you blaspheme the name of Jesus? No, get away. Don't blaspheme here. You don't blaspheme. How dare you come here to blaspheme the name of Jesus? Inside. No, get out. How dare you blaspheme here inside the tabernacle? Who are you? He's not white, man. Get away. Get away.
He get mad and get up and push Deacon Malachi. Get mad, get angry, so we had to jump in between them. Whole scuffle going on. Edomite running out there. Ah! They scared. Deep, man, deep. I'll pray the Most High. The Spirit was on him, man.
Solomon said, I am black. Free, but come. But what? Come. You heard, tall, dark, and handsome.
Jesus the Christ is a black man. He says that this is Jesus Christ. Okay, image Congo. This image came to the Congo. This image over here, and this is what's happened to the people.
It's because they hid in the past, they came out in class, the bishop don't show us the dragons wrong.
We never backing down, approaching lies like what's all the cap about? We the new era of men and we standing up, bringing up God's words, you ain't what's to chat about? Heathens and demons and snakes are attacking now. But they hate us and they hate the boot bangers out. The secrets they hid in the past, they came out in class, the bishop don't show us the dragons route. We and my people we tracking down, too fast and we stop, got the spazzing out. When we march for it, sink hit that thunder shop. The time is now, crush is coming down. Heating up country, you more than this local, you know that the apostles do travel out. Israel is scattered abroad, then we
Israel united in Christ, from corners to countries, gathering the 12 tribes of Israel. We gonna take the world.
it in gold, the game in trouble. Everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold. I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle. We ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle. The weight of the world, we ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle. We get it in gold, the game in trouble. Everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold. I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. Australia is one of the islands of the sea. And you have many other islands near Australia. For example, you have Vanuatu, you have Papua New Guinea, you have the Solomon Islands. All of these are islands of the sea, places where the Israelites in the last days will be scattered. Why? Because they are suffering God's judgment, because they broke his commandments.
To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. So the same mission the disciples had is our mission today. Our mission is unlike any other mission throughout the world. I want everybody to understand that. Okay? There's no group on earth who has undertaken the true mission of the disciples of Christ to resurrect and gather the 12 tribes of Israel which have been scattered abroad. You may call it the diaspora today. The Bible uses other words, the scattered. Okay? But it's the same thing. Our people suffered during the time of colonialization, forced migration, sub-Saharan slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, and it seems like our people have been forgotten. But you are not forgotten.
There will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men.
And shall set up an ensign for all the nations. The word Gentiles means nation. And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Man, Jehovah's Witness got obliterated, bro. Today was a day of war, and the Most High got the victory.
Who's the king? Christ! Who's the king? Christ! Fear, passion, salvation! The truth! Fear, passion, salvation! The truth! Unity! 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 That's right! Right!
Yeah, we're back. We're back. You just had to do a quick intermission and a quick intervention in the midst of the intermission. Anyway, go back to Geographus. I want to bring something out real quick. I want page 39 of Geographus. We read earlier how Muhammad had overthrown 3 Jewish tribes within Yathrib and renamed it Medina. I want that page where it says what they did with our Bibles. Read Leo says.
Leo says, there are
No. Matter of fact, start from the top. We shall treat
of the blacks when we come to Guinea.
Here we go again at that same place again. Guinea. Go ahead.
Negro land.
And
the Cape of Good Hope.
That's South Africa, the bottom. Go ahead.
Where they inhabit.
That's Southwest Africa. Cape Good Hope. Go ahead.
Kafirs.
Yeah.
Leo says, there are other kingdoms on the southern frontiers of this country, which are inhabited by rich, industrious, and just sort of people. Judaism was the religion of the ancient Africans.
When it says ancient Africans in this book, it's alluding to the Israelites that resided there. Go ahead.
For a long time.
1,500 years before Islam. Go ahead.
And succeeded by Christianity.
And what?
And succeeded by Christianity.
Succeeded by Christians. The Dominican priest went up in there and started converting us. Go ahead.
But Mohammedanism prevailed in the 208th year of the Hijra.
Yeah, Hijra, yep.
When all the Jews, Christians, and professors of the African religion that could be found were put to death.
They put the Jews, Christians, and the professors of the African religion is going into the Judaism earlier on. Go ahead.
Yet, in process of time, their intertwined quarrels made them neglect Muhammad's law.
Made us neglect. We were not keeping it. We didn't want to keep that. Go ahead.
Intestine quarrels made them neglect Muhammad's law.
Our intestine quarrels, we're not doing that. We're not following Islam. We don't want to follow that. Go ahead. Our intestine quarrels, go ahead.
And revolt from the Caliph of Baghdad, for which they were severely punished by the Mohammedan caliphs, who caused all their books to be burnt.
They burned our Bibles. They were burning our Bibles. Go ahead.
On suspicion that the knowledge of the arts and sciences prompt them to contemn Muhammad's law.
The Bible says, have no other gods before me. Not bow down to no stone or any standing image. Leviticus 26, verse 1. They began to burn our books for that very reason. That's all I wanted. So when they destroyed those books is the Bible. All right? You know something?
We got
a text. What's the text?
All right. It says, after Muhammad conquest, was the sub-Saharan slave trade started immediately after that or not?
Yes. After Muhammad's conquest, that's when he started enslaving us. You either would submit or you fall victim. Matter of fact, I'll show you. I'll show you in their own book. Since you asked. Yeah, he asked. I have to oblige. Thank you for the question. Hold on. No. Go online real quick and get me. Let me get out their own book. Those of you who are Muslims watching online, if you are a Hadith observer, I'm gonna read out your book, what you said. Hold on. Hold on. I can speak while for this.
Hey, I was looking at the comment section and I see a lot of confusion about who the Fulani were. Now we brought this out, a couple episodes ago.
Yep.
Somebody said that the Fulani were black Arabs. Okay, well, as we brought out these pages, and as you see, the deacon bringing out in the show thus far is that Mohammedanism came in, they conquered us, they burnt our books and so forth, and they forced that Muslim religion on us. And that's who we became as the Fulani. The Fulani were Israelites. All right, we showed time and time again that the Fulani were Israelites. And they called us what? They said the Fulani, that was a name that meant those people over there.
Those people over there.
Those people over there. All right, we also got books of a king, a prince that was brought over to Mississippi. He was a Fulani. Y'all have that book that we brought out?
The Said guy? His name was Said?
No, not Embiid. Araman.
So if they believe that the Fulani are Arabs, then I guess Deuteronomy 28 is applying to them too.
Right.
Because that's what he's slavery and ships.
Arabs.
Come on.
But the Fulani were Israelites. All right, we was taking the slaves on the slave ships and brought over here.
Yes, I found it. I want you to type in. This is their hadith. Type in S-A-H-I-H, Sahih al-Bukhari. 25. S-A-H-I-H. S-A-H-I-H. A-L-B-U-K-H-A-R-I 25. Sahih al-Bukhari. Sahih means it's a strong, that this text is strong as in it's authentic, genuine. It's a genuine ancient text regarding Muhammad. That's why Sahih means strong or authentic. Blow it up. Sahih al-Bukhari 25, is that it? Yep, that's it. Read that there.
Which one? Deke, I'm starting at the top, 17.
No, let me see.
Allah's Messenger.
Yep, that one. It's allegedly the words of Muhammad in the Hadith. This is like their, like in this, yeah, it's their, yeah, let's read it.
Narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's Messenger said, I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's messenger.
They have to accept Allah and they have to accept me. Watch this.
And offer the prayers perfectly and give the obligatory charity. So if they perform that,
if they perform these things, watch this,
then they save their lives.
I won't kill you. Go ahead.
And property.
And I won't take your land and your things
from me, except for Islamic laws. And then their reckoning accounts will be done by Allah.
Right. So that's why we read earlier how they burned our books. So some of us was like, we're not doing that. So he either killed us or they would enslave us. They would kill the men and take the women captive. This is your messenger here. Okay, that's what he did. That's what he was doing. This is according to what he said, allegedly his statements. If you're a Muslim or a former Muslim, you know about the Hadith. If some Muslims accept the Hadith, some do not. Even in the Quran, it says the same thing. They push the same thing. They push it by the sword. Let's go out of that. Go out of that now. Get me what was it? Get me Genesis 25. And verse 19.
Yes, sir. Book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 19.
So far we've gotten the point that the Kodesh tribe goes back to Ishmael. That's the point we're going to deal with. Kodesh goes back to Ishmael. So Muhammad comes from the Kodesh tribe. The Kodesh tribe goes back to Ishmael. Genesis 25, verse 19.
And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Why am I in such pain? If this pregnancy is of God, why am I in such pain? I'm in agony here. Your children are fighting in my womb. Go ahead.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
These 2 nations, you're going to have twins, but they're going to be very, very different. Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
The elder will serve the younger. Go ahead.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
Wasted away. So he first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Go ahead. Red and pale. Go ahead.
And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Jacob is not described because Jacob came out looking normal, like his father, his brown ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob was a brown man in that book. And it says even darker. Go ahead. But Esau came out different. That's why he's described. Go ahead.
And his name was called Jacob.
Go ahead.
And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them.
Notice it says that Jacob took hold on Esau's heel. Keep that in mind later on in the line. Go ahead.
And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter.
He was a what?
A cunning hunter.
What was Ishmael? Ishmael was an archer. Same. This is very, very, very similar. Keep these things in mind. There's a very, very close connection with these two. One was an archer, and the other became a cunning hunter. Okay? So you have Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael's the oldest, and Isaac the youngest. Now you have Esau and Jacob. One the oldest, one the youngest. One's a cunning hunter, one isn't. One is an archer. Okay, watch it. Read on.
And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
He just chill. He was a homeboy. I'm chilling. I ain't doing all that. Yeah, you have fun, Esau. I'm good. Esau in the woods all the time. Go ahead. Hunting.
And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob, and Jacob sowed pottage. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Red being red. Go ahead, go ahead.
And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright be to me?
Care about that birthright, man. I'm dying here, man. Just give me something to eat. You got the birthright. I don't care. Take it. Go ahead.
And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Esau despised it because he got rid of it. Go ahead. Now, go to 26:34.
Genesis chapter 26, verse 34. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beeri, the Hittite.
He took a Hamite wife. Go ahead.
And Bashmath, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite.
Another Hamite he took as a wife. Go ahead.
Which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah.
So him doing that pissed his parents off. He married 2 Hamite women. It pissed his parents off. It was a grief to them. Now, so I want to get 27 verse 1.
Genesis 27 and verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death.
Watch verse 3 closely.
Now therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison.
Archery. Go ahead. Verse 4.
And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meats for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
It's smooth. Esau is hairy all over the way. He had hair in his back of his neck, hair in his fingers, hair in his hands. He was a very extremely hairy man. Geico commercial, the caveman. That's exactly how he looked. Go ahead.
My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him a deceiver.
If I do this, I'm going to get in trouble. You're going to try to get me in trouble, Mom. Go ahead.
And I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Obey my voice, and go fetch me them.
Because the Lord was doing Rebekah. The Lord was doing with Rebekah on a spiritual level. Because remember, Isaac loved Esau more. But Rebekah knew in the spirit that the elder would serve. Remember, she inquired of the Lord that the elder would serve the younger. The Most High was dealing with her because he knew that Isaac was going to favor Esau. So the Lord moved her spirit to do this. There was no deception. No, the Lord moved her spirit to do this. Because remember, Ishmael was born first. The Lord said, I don't want Ishmael, I want Isaac. Esau was born first. The Lord said, I don't want Esau, I want Jacob. It's the same parallel. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat.
Sorry, because Muslims teach that Jacob was a deceiver. They say Jacob was a deceiver. He's a liar. That's that doctrine that they push to downplay the Israelites and uplift Ishmael, even though they're not Ishmael themselves. It's the most dumbest thing.
Yeah, even Christian too.
Yeah, they do the same thing.
Right. They're saying that Esau, Jacob stole
Yeah, exactly. Even though Esau gave it up because he was hungry. Then after he gave it up, he hated it. That's not Jacob tricking him. Jacob's like, yo, you don't want it, I'll take it. And he took it. Go ahead.
Sorry. Verse 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands.
And she put fur on his hands.
And upon the smooth of his neck.
She put fur on his neck. Why? Because Esau was furry. He was a furry guy. He was hairy. Go ahead.
And she gave the savory meat to the bread. And the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee. Sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice.
You sound like Jacob though, man. Go ahead.
But the hands are the hands of Esau.
But you hairy as hell, so you gotta be your brother, but you sound like Jacob. Go ahead.
And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy.
Because his what?
Because his hands were hairy.
Esau was hairy and red. Go ahead.
And his brother Esau's hand, as his brother's Esau hand.
Uh-huh.
So he blessed him.
Go ahead.
And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am.
Yeah, are you sure you Esau? It's me. Go ahead.
And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near, and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which the Lord hath blessed.
He must have stink.
Yeah, he smelled. Yeah, he say he smelled the field.
You ever smell goat?
No, he smelled like outside.
He smelled like outside.
He say he smelled like outside. He smelled like outside. It is you. It was. He can say he's blessed. If he stink, he can say he's blessed. If he stink, he can say he's blessed.
But remember, he put the goat skin on
yeah, but he said.
You ever smell goat? That smell horrible.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say this. I had a friend in the world. His mother was blind, and I heard when you blind, your senses heighten. Your smell and heightens. So he was dim.
His eyes are dim.
His eyes are dim. So it's
goat got a funniest man. That stink.
Damn. You probably got GMO goat. This is real goat in the bottom.
He was hairy like that goat too.
Yeah, it's hairy. Yeah,
that straight hair.
The goat.
And then he smell it.
Yeah,
that's what be like. You smell like my son.
Yeah,
that venison. Yeah. That venison. That smell.
Man, that's some terrible.
Damn. When you hunting, you got the blood on you.
Right.
When you slit the throat.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
you smell like the field.
Isaac was like, you smell good, man. That's Isaac. That's his thing. That's his boy, man. But go ahead.
Verse 28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
Damn. Go ahead.
Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he said, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou?
Who are you? Go ahead.
And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Isaac.
Esau. Did you say Isaac?
I just said Isaac.
Oh, God.
Thy firstborn, Esau.
Jazz, you're getting top today, man. You have to get replaced. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. And behold,
he's lying there. He's lying there. He sold it, but he's bitter now. He said, he took my birthright. No, he gave it away. And he said he despised it. Now he's complaining about it now because he lost the blessing. Go ahead.
He took away my birthright. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
That he did take away a blessing. That he did take it. Go ahead.
And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me?
What about me? I'm your oldest. What about me? Go ahead.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord.
He's going to rule over you. That's the prophecy. Go ahead.
And all his brethren have I given to him for servants.
Go ahead.
And with corn and wine, and have sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
You're going to have the best parts of the earth. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
Everywhere. Go ahead.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
That's how you'll acquire it. You're going to acquire those things by warfare. Warfare. Go ahead.
And shalt serve thy brother.
But you will, in time, be a slave to your brother. You will serve him. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Going into King David, when David and eventually that line went off, the Esau got their freedom and began to grow and expand their power. Take over Italy, took over Rome, Greece and Rome. Go ahead.
And Esau hated Jacob.
And he hated Jacob. Go ahead.
Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And guess what? Ishmael hated Isaac because of the blessing his father gave him. It's completely parallel. Completely parallel. Read on.
And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father.
Esau said where?
In his heart.
Esau said in his mind. He didn't say it out loud. He said in his heart. Go ahead.
The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
We bury our father, I'm going to kill that dude. As soon as our father get buried, I'm going to kill him. Go ahead.
And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah.
Who told her? Who told Rebekah what was in Esau's mind? God.
Dang.
Who told Rebekah to make Jacob dress up as Esau? God. Dang. There was no deception in this whatsoever. The Lord was doing Rebekah on a high level. The same way the Lord dealt with Mary, the same way he dealt with Rebekah, the same way. Very close. Very, very close. Go ahead.
And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran.
Go to your uncle's house. Your brother's going to kill you. Go to your uncle's house. Just leave for a while. Go ahead. Till he calms down.
And tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away.
So Esau calms down. He's mad at you. Go ahead.
Until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day?
Because if he kills you, God will kill him. I'll lose both of y'all. I'm going to lose both of y'all in one day. Go ahead.
And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth.
Watch this.
If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do to me?
If my son brings an African woman home, I'm going to be very, very upset. He better not do it. He better not do it like Esau did. Go to 28 verse 1.
Genesis 28 and verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of
Do
Canaan.
not take a Hamite wife. Go ahead.
Arise, go to
Padanaram.
to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
Go ahead.
And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people.
Come on.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger.
We're going to stop at verse 9. Go ahead.
Which God gave unto Abraham.
Come on.
And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padanaram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother.
Go ahead.
When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob.
So when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, go ahead.
And sent him away to Padanaram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Do not take a wife of Ham like your brother did. Go ahead.
And that Jacob obeyed his father.
And Jacob listened to his father. Go ahead.
And his mother, and was gone to Padanaram.
Watch this.
And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father.
Isaac was mad too. Isaac and Rebekah were very upset that Esau took them Hamite women. Go ahead. Watch this.
Then went Esau unto Ishmael.
Now we're getting to it. Esau went over to Ishmael and did what?
And took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nabayoth, to be his wife.
Yes, so he went and married Nabayoth's sister, Ishmael's daughter. Okay? Ishmael's daughter. So he went and married an Ishmaelite woman. So you had Esau and Ishmael get married. The older brother marries into the family of another older brother, rivals, but they come together.
So they form
an alliance.
The rejects.
Yes, they form an alliance. One hated Isaac and one hated Jacob. Their descendants down the line hated us. Down the line. The close relationship between Ishmael and Esau and Moab. I'll get to Moab soon, but later on. Now, how much time I got left? Now, give me one more.
15 minutes.
Give me Isaiah 60, verse 7.
It's kind of like how the traders, when they get kicked out of here, they find each other.
Yeah, the defectors. They find each other. Exactly.
Yep. Every beast liketh to his kind.
Esau could have went to his uncle's house with Jacob and just, no, I'm not going to go with him. I'm not going where he is. I'm going to go, because he was wicked as hell.
That bitterness.
He was bitter. He's bitter.
They're both bitter.
That same spirit's there. He still hated
his Uncle Ishmael, who's bitter too. Like, yo, let me get one of your daughters.
Yeah. Isaiah 60 and read verse 7. So remember, Ishmael had these sons. I told you to remember Nabayoth, and I said remember Tidar. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 7. Mm-hmm. All the flocks of Kedar.
Of who?
Of Kedar.
Kedar, that's Ishmael's son.
Shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of
Nabayoth. Same thing, go ahead.
Shall minister unto thee.
They're going to serve. These Ishmaelite nations are going to serve. The thee is us. They're going to serve. That's why, listen, them being bombed over there in Gaza, do I feel bad? To an extent. But I feel more so bad about what was done to my people at their hands before they took, after they took over our land. Because they took Jerusalem under Islam. They took Jerusalem around 600s AD, and then they spread westward and began just killing and colonizing all over Africa. And then call us sub-African. You sub-Saharan, you're sub-African, you're base African. No, you don't belong up there anyway. But anyway, let's read on.
They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory.
Yeah, you're gonna contribute to our temple. That's what you're gonna do on earth. Give me 1 Maccabees 5. 1 Maccabees 5 and 1.
First Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 1. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, and that the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much.
They were very pissed to see the temple was rebuilt. Go ahead.
Wherefore,
it was cleansed. Go ahead.
Wherefore, they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people.
Start to attack us. Go ahead.
Then Judas fought against the children of Esau.
He fought against the children of who?
Of Esau.
Of Esau. Go ahead.
In Idumea, at Arbiktine.
Arabatine.
Arabatine.
At Arabatine.
At Arabatine.
Arabatine means, let's see, it says Arabatine or Arabaton or Aquabatine. Go ahead.
Because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow, and abated their courage, and took their spoils. Also, he remembered the injury of the children of beyond.
Jump down to verse 24 now. So you fought the Edomites first. Jump to verse 24.
Verse 24. Judas Maccabeus also and his brother Jonathan went over Jordan and traveled 3 days' journey in the wilderness.
Watch this.
Where they met with the Nabathites.
Nabathites is Nabayoth. That's the Arabs again. Nabathites are Nabayoth. That's Ishmael's children. Nabathites. Nabath. Go ahead.
Who came unto them in a peaceable manner.
So these Nabathites were respectful. That's why it says in Isaiah 60 they're going to bring their offering, because not all Israel is going to pay for that. We're going to get judged, but the judgments are going to vary for different nations. Esau is condemned. They're going to be destroyed entirely as a race. But Ishmael going to get some kind of leniency, some kind.
Hey, Deke, that's like that book that Bishop brings out, that the judgment is going to be worse on
the Christians than the Mohammedans. Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 24.
No,
20.
That's all I want.
Yes, sir.
Get First Maccabees 12:31. First Maccabees 12:31. So Nabathites is Nabayoth. 12:31.
First Maccabees chapter 12 and verse 31.
Watch this.
Wherefore Jonathan turned to the Arabians.
Watch this.
Who were called
Zebadians.
Go
ahead.
And smote them and took their spoils.
Now, there's a number in your Bible. It has number 4 next to Zebadians. It says Josephus. It says Greek. Nabathians or Zabathians is Nabatians. The Arabs are Nabatians. Nabatians goes back to Nabayoth or Nabathites. Nabatians, Zebadians, Nabathites, that's Ishmael. That is Ishmaelites. These are Arabs here. Nabatians are the Arabs. They're children of Nabayoth. That's the sister. Esau's wife is the sister to Nabayoth, who's the father of the Nabathites or Zebadians. Okay?
So the Nabatians and the Edomites are cousins.
Yeah, pretty much. The Nabatians and the Edomites are cousins, yes. Real quick. 10 minutes. Give me literatureandhistory.com. Literatureandhistory.com and type in Judea under Herod.
The Nabatians helped Esau attack Jerusalem in 70 AD.
Yes, they did.
They were always there.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe during the Maccabean time also, with they helped Herod take over Jerusalem too. I think, I believe so. Or one or the other. One way they were involved somehow. You got it? Yeah, that's it. It's a Judea under Herod. Blow it up. Yeah, type in Judea under Herod next to it. Literatureandhistory.com. Judea under Herod.
Yeah, that's it.
Click that. Then go down to Idumea, Nabatea, and the Hasmonean dynasty. That's a picture of Herod right there. You see those like them guys over there now. Evil and devious as hell. I don't belong in this land. Sorry, look. Give me Idumea and
go to hell.
Yeah.
Idumea, Nabatea, and the Hasmonean dynasty. After the river Jordan dies in the Dead Sea, if you continue southward along the line between modern-day Jordan and Israel, you come to a land that in the days of the Old Testament was called Edom. Genesis tells us that the Edomites were descendants of Jacob's brother Esau.
Wait, click let me see the map real quick. The map, click the map. Let's click it, that's it. Let me just say click map. Okay, let me see it. Let me look at it. All right, so you got Judah right there. You got Israel on top. North, Judah on the bottom. You got Kingdom of Moab to the right, and Ammon to the right. Aramean tribes of Syria go down. You got Philistine states, Nabatu, Kingdom of Edom and Nabatu. They're next door neighbors. See that there? Nabatu is the Nabateans, and go over to the left. Edom right there. They're intermarried. So let's go back out. Go back to the article again. Started where it says Soherod. Soherod and his father. Right there, the second paragraph. So Herod and his father were the south, blah, blah, blah. Start from there.
So Herod and his father were from the south of the Dead Sea.
We're going to stop at Kings.
The land of Idumea. And his people had converted to Judaism.
Right, when John Hyrcanus converted them to Judaism. Go ahead.
But Herod wasn't a full-blooded Idumean. He was also a Nabatean.
He was also Nabatean. Go ahead. On his mother's side. Go ahead.
If we picture the Dead Sea one final time, to its east was the territory of Nabatea, a kingdom that at various junctures controlled different portions of the northwestern Arabian Peninsula.
Yeah.
The Nabateans, like their neighbors to the south of the Dead Sea, the Idumeans were considered Arabs.
But they're not. Go ahead. They're not Arabs. That's a lie they're pushing now. They're not Arabs. Go ahead. Idumeans are Edomites. And Arabs are Ishmaelites. Go ahead.
In other words, they had heritage associated with the Arabian Peninsula rather than the ancestral lands of Judea.
So that's why I showed you earlier how it says the Arabs are dark. But you did have other Arabs who were very, very light. Like Muhammad was known to be very pale, very light. Why? Because they intermingled with Esau. They married Esau. And then the Greeks came. They married the Greeks, which were Edomites as well. They intermingled with the Edomites. Go ahead.
And in fact, Herod himself was half Nabatean and half Idumean, having an Idumean father and a Nabatean mother.
Right. Go ahead.
These were not enormous kingdoms. But Idumea to the south of the Dead Sea and Nabatea to the east of it were still important conduits for trade. For trade between Africa, Arabia, and the Levant. By 100 BCE, though, they were subordinate to a powerful dynasty of Jewish kings.
That's all I want. So now, go to Wikipedia. Antipater the Idumean. This is his father. Antipater the Idumean. Wikipedia. They're going to see how he's half and half. So-called half and half. You know, his father is, you know what your father is. Give me Numbers 118 real quick. Numbers 118. You are what your father is. That half and half stuff is nonsense. I'm just showing you that there is a relationship between the two.
So it doesn't go by the mom either.
No, it doesn't go by the mom at all. Numbers 118.
Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers. House of your fathers. Go to Antipater the Idumean. Go down to background. Background. Right there, yep. And we're going to stop at, Antipater married Cyprus and at Papron.
Though historians understand that Antipater's family had converted to Judaism in the 2nd century BCE, different stories circulated in the wake of his son's coming to power. They demonstrate the tensions that existed between the Jewish people and the powerful Edomites who appeared at this time. Nicholas of Damascus, the court historian for Herod, wrote that Herod's ancestors were among the historical elite in Jerusalem, who had been taken by King Nebuchadnezzar into Babylonian captivity in the 6th century BCE. This account serves two purposes. When the Persian king Cyrus sent the captives of Babylon...
No, I should say Antipater married Cyprus. What's it at? Antipater married Cyprus is all I want. Go down. Antipater married Cyprus. Type in Cypros.
Control find. Married.
Cyprus.
Yeah, he married her. We gotta find her in this thing. Right there. That's what I want. And that Papron. We're gonna wrap it up there.
Antipater married Cypros, a Nabatean noblewoman, which helped...
He married what?
Antipater married Cypros.
Antipater was an Idumean. He married Cypros, so what?
A Nabatean noblewoman.
A Nabatean noblewoman. Go ahead.
Which helped endear the Nabateans to him. Their marriage helped bring about a close friendship between him and King Aretas.
And King Aretas is also an Arab king as well. We'll get to him later on.
Called by Josephus, Aretas the Arabian.
Called by Josephus, the Bible calls him that too. Aretas the Arabian. He was a king. Go ahead.
To whom Cyprus was related.
Cyprus was related to, I think she was his cousin. Cyprus was the wife of Antipater, who was the father of the Herodian family, and she was a relative of Aretas the Arabian. Go ahead.
The two men had such a relationship that Antipater entrusted his children to his friend when he went to war with the Hasmonean Aristobulus II.
Yes, they backed him up because they intermarried in that family. Go ahead.
They had 4 sons, Phaziel, Herod, Joseph, and Pharos, and a daughter, Salome, one of several Salomes among the Herodians. Antipater also had a brother named Phelion, who was killed in battle against Aristobulus at Papri.
Aristobulus was a family of the Hasmonean family, the Maccabean family. So I'm showing you that the Ishmaelites and the Edomites had close marital and relationship ties to each other. That's why you have Ishmaelites that are not Ishmaelites at all. Some of them are Edomites. And you got some Edomites that are Ishmaelites. They intermarry in those particular regions, so that's why they're so light. So I'm going to wrap it up right there. We don't got much time. I'm going to wrap it up there. Hope you guys enjoyed the class. This is part 1. I'll give you guys some details about Ishmael and Esau's beginnings, their conception, Isaac and Jacob, the rivalry. We're going to get some more detail on the Arab Trans-Saharan slave trade. This class is going to take you on a crazy journey regarding the Trans-Saharan slave trade, which ties into the transatlantic. Well, actually, the Trans-Saharan slave trade ties into the Spanish Inquisition because we fled from the Spanish Inquisition into Africa and we ran to the Arabs or Muslims who enslaved us. And then that Trans-Saharan slave trade was the forerunner of the transatlantic slave trade, and the Trans-Saharan slave trade on the other side of Africa is the forerunner to the Trans-Pacific Ocean slave trade, which ties us from Southeast Africa, and what else? What was it? Northeast Africa and Southeast Africa being shipped over to India, Malaysia, Iran, Japan, China. We're going to get into all of that. We got all the books on that. We got all the maps regarding the Hawaii. We got all the maps, the Pacific Islands. We got all the maps on all those voyages and those trades and so forth. So stay with us. We're going to take this show to a whole new heights, different levels of information.
That's right.
If I'm going to be back, I'm going to be back with a vengeance. You understand? Good. All praise to the Most High for that. And I hope y'all enjoyed the lesson. So until then, next week, shalom, Most High, Christ bless.
All praise. All praise.
And they were slave ships. That's it.
Any day now. I guess.
Okay, all right. Hey, Israel, let's give another hand for Deacon Ithon's class again. All praise the Most High. Doctrine Slayer is back. All praise the Most High, Israel. Hey, Israel, go on YouTube now. Subscribe to Our Hidden History Radio. All right, hit the notifications button so you know when we go live. You don't want to miss another class. Go back and watch the previous classes with Captain Joel, Officer Jezreel. All the brothers been holding it down while the deacon was gone. All praise the Most High.
Oh,
great.
yes. I want to give a shout out to Officer Jez, Officer Abaddon, and obviously our Ken for while I was away, for holding things down. The show, y'all did an excellent job. I forgot to tell you that. Y'all did an excellent job. I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I love you, brothers, and I appreciate you guys from the beginning till now for being heavy contributors to the show. We work as a team. It's not a one-man thing. We all work collectively together to get this show running on the board. I want to give a shout-out to the IT team, shout-out to the camera crew, the brothers, all you brothers on here, behind the scenes, whether openly or in the back and closed doors. I love y'all, and I thank y'all for keeping the show running, and we're going to take this thing to another level. As it gets warm, we're going to be going out in these streets. We're going to be going to different landmarks. We're going to share some stuff y'all ain't never seen. Yeah. We're going to be crazy, man. My mind is racing. So I got so many thoughts. I don't know where to go, but we're going to take it different heights, man. Just prepare yourselves.
All praises.
All right.
All praises.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, Israel, also follow us on Instagram, Our Hidden History Radio. All right, get some snippets from the classes that you might have missed. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube to IUIC Philadelphia and IUIC Philadelphia in the Classroom to get content from the deacon, captains, and officers of IUIC Philly. Donate to Our Hidden History. You can donate to Our Hidden History on PayPal to IOIC.Philadelphia@israelunite.org. In the comment section, put OHH. Also, donate to the Booster Club. You can donate to the Booster Club on PayPal to IOIC.fundraising@israelunite.org. Subscribe to IOIC TV to get exclusive content from the leadership of IOIC. And tune in next to Raven and Wolves with Deacon Malafia. All right. For this week, missing persons, we have a young sister named Shirley's Figueroa. She is. Say it again.
Figueroa.
All praise.
Shirley's. Yeah, Figueroa.
Figueroa. She is 13 years old. Hispanic. Hair color black. Eye color brown. 5'7". Weighs about 240 pounds. She was last seen at 3800 North Marshall Street. All right. She was last seen on March 9th. She was last seen wearing a black New Balance hoodie and black pants. Damn. She could be heading to New York. All right. If you see something, say something, report it to your local authorities. All right. Next. And lastly, we're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Kindly spare a minute to provide feedback by answering 5 brief questions. All right, so if you got time, go ahead and scan the QR code. Let us know how we did. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody already knows who the head of IT for Philly is, so no need to say his name.
Oh, man.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know? It's Officer Manning. Yeah.
Good job, Officer Manning.
Oh, wow, man.
All praise the Most High.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Shots fired,
never
man.
a dull moment.
Woo. That's it.
All right. So, Lord's will, before we wrap it up, when we visit these places, man, we're going to try to go live. So we're going to make sure if we're going to do the show, we're going to try to have y'all with us as we visit these places. So we're going to try to make it live. We're going to try, bandwidth and stuff. We'll try, but we're going to try to make it so that the experience we share with y'all is interactive, so we're all seeing everything at the same time. So that's just, we'll see what happens. But, all right, shalom. Most High Christ bless. Until next time, see y'all then.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless.